You're listening to Productivity Monsters in the Morning. We are the energy volt your real estate business needs to get you up and out and excited and productive for the day. We go over trending topics and things that really matter in the market of the moment. Here are your hosts, Tiffany Hampton and Brooke Silva.
Good
What's up, my beautiful friend? How are you?
Look at the sky above me. Do you see that? That's called sun.
It snowed last night.
Ah!
And this morning it was icy and cloudy. So yes, welcome to my world. I love Maine. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
I'm enjoying today's one of those days where it's cold outside. What is it? Oh, it's Celsius. I can't tell you. I don't know how to change that. Oh, there we go. It's 37 degrees. I know how to change that in my Jeep. But it's one of those days where the sun is beating in. So I had to actually move the Jeep so I could talk to you because I was sweating. I was like, oh my God, the heat is off. I cannot breathe. And it feels good though. It's one of those days where you don't want to get out of the car.
Yeah. I just want to talk about, I know we have an agenda and I feel like we'll get to it. I want to talk about November.
Ooh.
November in New England or anywhere where it gets cold, it's like this mindset change, and it could go positive or it could go negative, right? And for years and years and years, I suffered with seasonal depression, and I made drastic moves in November. That was my month of change. Sometimes positive, sometimes negative. And I will say over the last 3, 4, 5 years, the changes have been positive. And part of it is because the growth. And we just spent like 15 minutes talking before this about like all the opportunities that crossed our paths. And it's because of who we're connected with.
Sorry, I'm trying to replace but with and. And you and I have sought out relationships and connections though and worked at that. It is not because we've been plopped in a room. You can be plopped in a room and not say a word to anybody.
Yeah. It's like relationship is the conversation is the relationship.
It is. I get to meet with tons of top agents in our region, and they say the same thing to me every day right now is how can I create more leads for my team or for myself next year? And it's so glaringly obvious that they are missing out on a treasure trove in their own world, but they're so worried about fresh leads that they're unwilling or ignoring the leads that are in their database. You have said it so many times, and you know the math so much better than I do, but based on the number in your database and how many conversations you have, that's how many closings you get. And so next year is going to be the year, and you got to start it now. It's the perfect time of year. Build on those relationships.
Yeah. Well, and we get afraid of what the conversation should be. We're afraid that we're saying the wrong, like legit, just make the ask.
Hello is never the wrong thing to say.
And saying, hey, I need your help is not wrong. Right?
No, it's funny. We get into so many rooms that talk about non-real estate, and we talk small business, and we talk about people are so scared to ask for help. Your friends and family don't know how to support your real estate business. Let's just call it what it is. They're so petrified you're going to call and ask them to buy, sell, refer, invest. But there are other simple things they can do, such as helping you promote events, liking, commenting on posts, being a part of your emails. There's so many small things that cost them nothing, but we're petrified to ask for help because we're small business owners. We know it all.
Yeah. I was on a call yesterday with productivity coaches and Tim Lindsay, who's in our New Hampshire Portsmouth office. And he challenged one of his agents to call everyone in his database and ask them, what do I do for a living? And more than half now.
I mean, I don't know what I do, so I don't know what my friends and family would say.
Yeah. No, yeah. I don't know. I help people.
If you ask my daughter, what do I do? My mom's a nerd. And then if you ask her, well, what does that mean? She'll say, my mom is really happy to help people with stuff they don't know.
Yeah.
She can't articulate at 7 that I'm an educator, because that's truly what I am at the end of the day. I'm a trainer and an educator and a consultant. And it's so funny to hear it from her little brain because of my branding, right? Brooke the nerd. And then when people say, okay, but what does she do as a nerd? She goes, well, she helps people learn every day things they don't know. And I think that is the coolest thing. Yep. Now you ask my mom, what do I do? And she'll be like, what don't you do? Because my mom thinks I do everything.
And we're not supposed to do everything. We're supposed to do one thing and do it really well.
We are. And so that's what brings us to what we were talking about and what I'd love to talk about. So we have Fierce Conversations coming up. The region is holding this class. This is for anyone. This is not how to be mean to people. It's how to dig into the truth, the real truth, and have conversations that may be uncomfortable and hurt, but at the end of the day, change the trajectory of relationships, careers, businesses. I am only on chapter 2, and I've been listening again for 3 months. I was telling you this morning. I keep going back and hitting the bookmark so that when I park or I'm home, I can find it in the book and highlight it, because this time I can tell I'm in a different season of life, because there are things in this book that I've never highlighted or underlined or put a post-it, and now I'm just hearing things so different. So I'm in chapter 2 and it's near the end, and she talks about, the author, who is Susan Scott, talks about this woman, Annie Dillard. And Annie Dillard wrote, how we spend our days is how we spend our lives. So that exercise that Tim had his agent do is fantastic, because we may be spending all this time during the day doing things while life is passing us by, or we're doing the wrong things because people still don't even know what you do. How painful is that? People don't know what you do, but yet you're devoting 10, 12 hours a day to what you do. How does that work?
I know. It's crazy. And literally, it's as simple as making an ask. Just make an ask.
Why do you think people won't make that ask?
Because they're bothering people. They don't want to be salesy. They don't want to bother people. They don't want to be salesy. They don't want to bother people. They don't want to be salesy. I mean, give me a break.
Fear.
We're in a people,
so what I hear is fear.
We're in a people business. Like, if you're not going to talk to people, then why are you in the business?
Which is hysterical coming from you. Wait till you see the sticker I got you, by the way. Coming in the mail. But it's true. Just because you and I have very different approaches on how we do things doesn't mean we both don't do the things we need to do to stay in relationship with people. You and I understand how important these relationships work. So part of this conversation is they tell you to go to a quiet place outside of your home to write these things down so that you can decide where you're going, why are you going there, who is going with you, and how do you get there. It's a really hard conversation to have with yourself. But if you're not willing to have a fierce conversation with yourself, you're not going to be able to have fierce conversations with others around you.
And let's get rid of the word fierce is a positive word, just for the record.
I truly think it is. When people have called my daughter fierce in the past, I was kind of like, is it because she's crabby and a little forward? And it's like, no, she knows her mind. She's confident. And I love that she's fierce in things. I'll take that any day with her.
100%. All right, my friend, if you need
you have a great day.
You know where to find me. I'll talk to you on Thursday.
Have a great day, friends.
Bye.